It all started in 1995, the first SUV crossover, the Toyota Rav4. Now in its fourth generation and totally redesigned, I've come all the way to carefree Arizona to check it out. Will I be impressed? Let's find out. Well, the exterior wasn't changed for just any reason. It's form following function. They've even totally redesigned the side view mirrors to make sure they cheat the wind as much as possible. If you think the rear view looks totally different, you're right. They actually got rid of the exterior spare tire. They also got rid of the side hinge door for easier access. One way to tell that you're looking at an entry-level LE is with the 17-inch steel wheels here. But they actually don't look like steel wheels. They look like alloys. The limited edition has the 18-inch alloy wheels, 1 inch larger than the standard. The front end looks really cool and has a lot of personality. Overall, I think they did a great job with the exterior design. So here's the old RAV4 from 2012, and here's the totally redesigned new version on the 2013 model. So this is the entry-level LE interior, and I must say it's very polished. I like what they've done with this one. The two-tone look really suits the interior well. Now this is the limited version, and I gotta say, this is a darn fine looking interior here. The two-tone really works well. It actually looks luxurious and a bit opulent too. Nice job, Toyota. Moving up to the Limited gets you all power seats plus Softex, which is basically a faux leather. It's all the positive qualities of leather, but no animals were hurt and it heats up and cools down quicker. You get an armrest with storage, but this one doesn't slide like it does in the Limited edition. Cup holder here. And here is your 6-speed automatic transmission. There's also a manual sport option on the shifter. You can shift it yourself. The Limited comes with heated seats, which you can control right here. By the way, those sport and eco buttons really work. They actually change the way the car drives and behaves, and in the eco mode you get better fuel economy, and of course in the sport mode it changes the shifting patterns, and it also tightens up the steering too. And there's where you want to hook up your smart or iPhone, and also a charger too. Moving up to the XLE or the Limited gets you dual zone climate control, but thankfully this 6.1 inch monitor is actually standard and it also has a rear camera too. You get power windows and door locks here with a regular key start on this one. On the steering wheel you can control your Bluetooth phone and also your radio controls, and right down here is Toyota's standard cruise control. Very nice. The gauges, straightforward and easy to read. Moving up to the Limited gets you the smart key and push button start. Overall, the interior has been very well thought out and it's very pleasing to the eye, and also now pleasing to the touch too. In back there's seating for 3. As I said before, you now get a traditional liftgate back here, and there's no more optional extra seating for up to 7 with 2 seats back here. Toyota feels that you're going to move to the Highlander if you want a larger vehicle. But you do get 38.4 cubic feet of storage back here. There's an interesting way to collapse the rear seat. Just use this bar, and down they go. Nice. And when you collapse them all, you'll get a very large 73.4 cubic feet of space back there. Power comes from a 2.5 liter dual overhead cam 4-cylinder engine which produces 176 horsepower and 172 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission which, while in sport mode, will provide blip throttle downshifts. That's good enough to get you to 60 in 8.9 seconds. Fuel economy for the front drive RAV4 is rated at 24 miles per gallon in the city and 31 miles per gallon on the highway. You can expect 26 miles per gallon overall. If you go with all-wheel drive though, it's going to drop by 2 miles per gallon. So pricing for the RAV4 starts out at $23,300. Now that one is for the LE. Step up to the XLE and you're at $24,290. All the way up to the Limited and you're at $27,010. And you don't get a very basic car. You know, you get a nice 6.1 inch screen to start, and you get a nice feeling interior that feels like it's got some quality to it. So it doesn't feel like a budget entry-level car. And the best thing is, if you want the added dependability and safety and handling of all-wheel drive, that's only $1,400 more any way you add it. Well, these Arizona houses are charming, and the land is just entirely different. You gotta love the cactus. Of course, safety is always a primary concern with Toyota, and they've done a lot to improve it. You got 2 more airbags in this one, a driver knee airbag and a passenger seat cushion airbag, so 10 airbags in total. When you buy it, in any level you buy, you get 2 years, everything's included, all the maintenance and roadside assistance too, should you need it, so that's great to have. You've got a blind spot warning system, which if there's a car in your blind spot available on the limited edition, then it lights up a light actually. And if you're actually in a parking lot, there's actually sensors that will actually tell you if a car is coming either way, so you won't back up. So that's a great safety feature too.
In 300 yards, turn left onto North Plotty Basin Road.
Well, the navigation's done a great job, and thankfully we haven't gotten lost at all. So Toyota's new slogan is, let's go places. And with the Rav4, you can definitely go places. With all-wheel drive, you can take it off-road. And even without it, you've got high ground clearance, and you've got a lot of cargo space back there. 73 cubic feet. And you can put a lot of bikes back there. You know, you can put kayaks on top. Some smaller kayaks will even fit inside. Plus, you can fit up to 5 people. So the Rav4 is a very well-rounded crossover SUV. And the fact that they started it all back in 1994 and 1995 when it came to America, you know, everywhere you look, there's an SUV and there's a crossover. And Toyota was the innovator there. They came up with the concept, and now look, it's everywhere. And here they are, back on top of the game with the all-new Rav4. Now, if you're craving 7-passenger seating, or you're craving V6 power, don't worry about that. Just step up to the Highlander. Toyota's got you covered there too. With some of the roads out here in Arizona, it's almost like you're on a roller coaster, but they are great for testing out the suspension. You've got a ride height, which doesn't really help with the center of gravity in terms of handling, but it does give you a commanding view of the road in front of you, and I think many drivers will appreciate that. In terms of handling, although the Rav4 is no track star, it does feel reasonably peppy, and it certainly has enough speed to keep up with traffic. Out on the challenging back roads of carefree Arizona, the Rav4 is surprisingly entertaining. Toyota's engineers have really gone to a lot of trouble to give modern Toyotas more of a personality, and that means that they've become more of a driver's sort of car, or SUV in this case. You've got a sport mode which really ramps up the speed and handling characteristics, and of course you can even shift it yourself if you want. The handling instills a sense of confidence, especially with the all-wheel drive, that is very impressive to find in a small SUV. With the excellent ground clearance and all-wheel drive, even here on the entry-level LE, no problems. The all-wheel drive system really does everything for you. You don't have to think about it. You just know that it's doing everything it can to keep you pointed where you want to be pointed. So to summarize the Rav4, I think Toyota's engineers have really done a great job of coming up with an SUV that really does everything and sets the new standard for what an entry-level SUV should be like. They've just fine-tuned not only the way the car feels and the way you handle the navigation or the buttons you press or that sort of thing, the menus that you go into, or the Toyota Entune system if you have that option, but it's gone further than that. The engineers have said, okay, you know, we're concerned about the way this car feels. You know, Akira Toyoda is a sports car enthusiast, and he's designed cars like the Lexus LFA at the high end, and even the entry-level Scion FRS. It's just an amazing sports car at a $25,000 price. So really he's trying to add a bit of handling, feel, and performance to the whole Toyota lineup. And it really shows. This car is fun to drive, and with the all-wheel drive, it grips very well, even better than just front-wheel drive. So they've paid attention to steering feel, braking, and the way the steering wheel feels through a nice turn, it's impressive, just like the fit and finish of the interior, and it definitely shows. So the Rav4 is well-rounded. You can equip it very inexpensively if you like, but it doesn't feel like an entry-level SUV, and that's very important. At the high end, you've got things like blind spot warning, heated seats, faux leather seating. You've really got it all, you know, so you can equip it in a very luxurious fashion, or you can just go for the entry level and still feel like you've got not an entry level SUV, and that's very important. I'm definitely impressed. I'm Drivin' Ivan Katz.